You can break chains with your chest. This terrific show stunt is also a wonderful muscle builder. It will develop tremendous lung and diaphragm power, chiseled intercostal muscles, a strong chest, and strong back muscles. Put more power in your muscles by practicing it frequently. I was just a young kid when I first saw this sensational stunt performed, but it left a lasting impression on me. In those days, every circus had its strongman. He invariably wore Roman sandals and leopard skin leotards. They were big, muscular men, virtual giants to us small fry, and we stared with amazement as they did one impossible feat after another. My brother and I earned a free pass for watering the elephants, and it was a tough job. But the lure of the circus was strong, and we'd have done anything to get in. The acrobats and strongmen were our favorites, and for months later, we risked life and limb trying to emulate them. On this memorable occasion, we saw a bulging behemoth wrap a big chain around his chest and fill his barrel chest with air, tense his mighty muscles, and literally explode the chain. We almost split our guts trying to duplicate this impossible feat. The only chain available was a bicycle chain, and I doubted even Superman would have been able to snap this. We tried everything we could find, but our puny boyish chest failed again and again. Even ropes of various thickness were too much for us, and eventually we had to settle for a piece of ordinary wrapping string. We came down a long way from our first attempts, but even then I must admit there was some satisfaction from such a minor feat as snapping a string. Tricks to every trade. Since then I have learned many things about breaking chains that were a mystery in those long ago days. Most important was the fact that the chain must be breakable. Let me put this in another way. You possess only so much chain breaking strength. Therefore, in order to break a chain with this strength, your strength must be greater than the strength of the chain. This is so obvious that it seems foolish even to mention it, but most people fail in their attempts primarily because they do not recognize this simple fact. There are chains that nobody could break. There are many kinds of steel today that are used for different jobs. Some are so tough that they would withstand the combined strength of a herd of elephants. When you break a chain, you don't actually tear the steel apart. You separate the joints of one or more links, and the chain falls apart. Of course, this is impossible if the links are welded, because the weld is usually tougher than the rest of the link. Therefore, do not use welded chains. You will see some strongmen break welded links, but you can rest assured that some of the links have been weakened by treatment with acid, so they can be broken. A link might also be cut partway through so that it will snap easily. However, these tricks might be discovered if the chain is inspected by the audience before or after the stunt, or the feat may look like a fake when it is performed. The professional strongman sometimes resorts to tricks of this type to perform some of his impossible feats, but he always strives to use near maximum strength. In other words, he may weaken a link just enough so that he can break it, but not enough so that it can be detected or broken by anyone else. For this spectacular feat, you are advised to use an ordinary unwelded link chain. Start with the weakest one you can get, and once you master this, try tougher and tougher links until you can snap one that only the strongest, most experienced performers could bust. Here's how it's done. Get a weak chain with unwelded S links. Wrap this chain around your chest, let out all of your air, contract your chest as much as you can, and then mark the matching links. Now open up one of the links a little so that you can use this as a hook. Next, get a wide leather belt about 4 inches in width and wrap this belt around your contracted chest. Cut the belt off so that the ends barely touch when you contract your chest. Now spread the ends of the leather belt so they are about 1 inch apart and sew a wide piece of elastic belting across this gap. This belt is placed beneath the chain when you are about to break it to prevent the chain from digging into your chest. If you put the chain around your bare chest, each link will dig into the soft flesh, not only causing some pain, but making it necessary for you to force much harder to exert pressure on the chain. The leather belt beneath the chain will keep it from cutting in and will require less chest expansion to do the chain breaking job. Now slip the leather belt up to your chest. With some experimentation, you will find out the best position for you. Usually this is at the point of greatest latissimus dorsi expansion. Then bring the chain around the leather belt, or better still, have a partner do this for you. Exhale as much as you can, make your chest as small as you can, and then pull the chain in as small as possible and hook the slightly opened end link. When everything is in place, take a deep breath, force your lats out, and do everything in your power to make your chest as big as possible. This takes practice. Your best bet is to do this practicing on a piece of string, then use heavier materials and finally graduate to the chains. Start with small, weak chains and gradually use stronger and stronger chains. Some strongmen let loose with a terrific burst of energy, making the chain literally explode apart. Others make a real production out of the breaking, forcing harder and harder until success is finally theirs. Good showmanship is definitely of value, but first you've got to be able to do the feat. Once you master it, then you can really dress it up and sell it to your audience. Not only is this a terrific show stunt, but it is also a wonderful muscle builder. It will develop tremendous lung power, great diaphragmatic power, powerful intercostals, strong chest muscles, strong back muscles, power-packed lats, a powerful chest wall, and put more power into all the other muscles of your upper body.